per popular demand, and when I say demand, I mean demand, today I am revealing your sleepover secrets. I've been avoiding filming this one because it reeks of prepubescent fornication, and that's not really of interest to me, but apparently it's of interest to all of you. Not really sure how I feel about being the vehicle in which you explore this interest, but here I am. Am I selling my soul? Nah. Last year on Halloween, my friend was having a sleepover, so obviously I went. Anyways, it was all going great. We had stashed up on snacks and stuff so we could watch a bunch of horror films. I love scary films, and my friend doesn't, so throughout basically all of them, she was looking away and hiding under the covers. She was getting super scared, and it got to a point where I was genuinely concerned and wanted to go home. I stood up to go to the bathroom, and when I looked down, the bed was wet. She had piss everywhere. She did. Disgusting! Honestly, I just looked at her, grabbed my stuff, and left. She was so weird. You sound like a bully. I bet this girl is wonderful. People who pee themselves in fear are maybe the best kind of human because they are sensitive and full of I don't pee. I don't know. I sound like I'm defending them because I pee myself when I'm scared. I've done it once. I have. I was getting on a roller coaster. It's fine though. I just think you sound like a bully. Honestly, it's like if you were a real friend, you'd be like, oh my god, let me help you. But instead you left and said she's weird. I don't like that. I don't like that energy, and you're gonna have to clean that up. Just like she had to clean her pee up, you gotta clean your attitude up. Okay? Good. Okay, so this is very embarrassing for me, and I feel like there is some way that someone will be able to know it's me, but I'm sharing anyways. Back in like 2nd grade, I had this friend who I'll call B. B was my first friend there, and because of that, she was also my best friend. She wanted me to sleep over at her house for her birthday once, but I've always had anxiety and attachment issues growing up that I've never actually spent the night at anyone else's house, even my own family. Somehow, she convinced me, and the day came. I got off her bus stop with her, and then did the normal 2nd grade birthday party stuff like eat cake, watch her open presents, etc. Then the night came. It was only me, Bean, and her cousin, who was also the same age as us. We were watching a movie, and then B out of nowhere was like, have you guys ever licked a butthole before? I didn't expect that. Me being confused obviously answered no. She and her cousin laughed and said they did it all the time. B proceeded to then pull her pants down and had her cousin lick her butthole. I was so done. See, here is a moment where you can judge someone. In my head I thought, is this what people do at sleepovers? She wanted me to do it too, but I said I had to use the bathroom. I called my mom to pick me up and then told them that my stomach hurt because of the cake and my mom wanted me to come home. I don't remember what happened afterwards, but that was definitely a part of some of my childhood trauma. Still hate sleepovers. Yeah, that's a totally fair and reasonable experience to justify hating sleepovers. Just so you know though, in case you haven't gone to any since then, that actually isn't standard protocol. Usually we just lick each other's I'm kidding. Usually there's no licking at all. If anything, I'm licking, I don't know, a lollipop, a popsicle. I mean, this is disgusting. When I was about 7, I would have sleepovers at my aunt's house and would sleep with her 2 sons. Really excited to see where this one goes. One night they asked to touch my titties, and I said yes. They proceeded to squish and touch them for about a few minutes, and we all went to sleep right after. It's been years now. We would still meet each other at family gatherings, but we've never talked about it. They probably forgot about it, but I still remember to this day. Why the f did we do that? Do you even have titties at 7 years old? I mean, not to like bring everyone's attention to 7-year-old titties. Oh my god, what am I doing? Alex, please, red! I'll try. At my old school, which was a Catholic school, we aren't Catholic, it's just the nearest school to where I live and the bus fares are cheaper. Got it. I was outed as a lesbian and I was basically shunted everywhere because it was really homophobic. My parents were fine with it and moved me to a new school. The bus fares were more expensive. I don't know why it's important, but oh well. It's important because why do gays have to pay more? It's not even a real problem, but in this situation, it was a problem. Your family had to pay more money because you like pussy? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. That's unfair. And I didn't tell anyone I was a lesbian there because I was scared about what would happen. I make some new friends and it's all fine. Fast forward a year and it's my 15th birthday party. It's chill. I have my 3 friends to mine for a sleepover and I'm wearing this really low-cut top as my pajamas because it was the all-knee t-shirt left in the Cup Nord The rest were in the wash. So we were just watching a movie, and I'm wondering why it's so cold. I stand up to see if there's a window open, and that's when I noticed that my titty was just hanging out. I scrambled to pull my top up, and one of my friends notices and taps the other two girls. I'm trying to my top back up, but it's too late and they've noticed. Now there's this rumor that I purposefully got out and that I'm gay. I don't even like any of the girls at my school. I'm saving my heart for Sarah Paulson. Oh, what a babe. Honestly, girl, it seems like you need to put a lot more attention on English class. So maybe it's good that things aren't going well socially at your school. Focus on spelling. When I was around 6, I went to my first sleepover at my BFF's house. I slept in her sleeping bag and got hives all over my legs the next day. I went home early in the morning and got medicine for them, but once in a while they would come back. Well, one night they did. I walked out of my room to my parents because that's where my mom kept the medicine. The door wasn't locked, so I just walked in, seeing my mom butt-ass naked, doing the devil's tango with my dad. I am scared. Anyways, I've never slept at my friend's house again, and my parents don't realize I still remember that moment. I've never told this to anybody. Love your Rinse, by the way. At least your mom wasn't doing the devil's tango with someone else. At least it was your dad. Be grateful for that. And you know what? They could have been having a So this happened when I was really young. I can barely remember. But I had these birds. I forgot one of their names, but wow, you must have really cared about your birds. But one who survived for a long time was named Jack Jack. It was a girl bird, but we thought it was a boy because she laid 12 eggs one night. Wouldn't that mean you'd think it was a girl? I'm confused. So anyways, back to the story. One day when I was super bored, I decided I was going to hold my pet bird. So I took it out of his cage and started holding him and petting him, but my mom said to put him back because I was too young, but I didn't want to. So I hid under my bed and squeezed my bird so tight I killed it. So ashamed, I put it in a box under my bed. Fast forward to a few years later, one day I had a sleepover and one girl said my room smelled like dead animal, and we found this so gross that it probably smelled like dead animal the whole time and you were just living in it, so you had no idea. And we found the smell under my bed after looking around. Turns out the bird's skeleton was still in the box. To this day, I still keep its skull in a small glass box. I can smell the room. I don't like it. I am 14 and have ADHD. When I was 10, I was so hyper and my cousin was at a sleepover with me and she was 7. I had to do a poo, but for some reason I was really embarrassed because my mom and auntie were downstairs and I didn't want to flush. So I got loads of toilet roll and put some rubber gloves on and scooped the poop from the toilet. I carried it into the bedroom and my cousin was like, "What?" And I chucked it out the window. I washed my hands after, don't worry. That really wasn't what I was worried about. It was more what's going on up here. The next morning I crept out to the garden and threw my poop into the neighbor's yard. They deserved it, trust me. They don't actually live there. It is a weed/marijuana farm and their yard is like a jungle. So I crept back inside and washed my hands. My cousin has snitched countless times, but like me, she is a goofball, and so my aunt and mom never believe her and laugh at her like she has gone crazy. If they only knew. I love this story, mainly just because it has to do with cousins and they aren't fornicating. When I was in a mental hospital, the Halloween just gone, I made friends with this schizophrenic girl and I shared a room with her and she would scream in the middle of the night and say that the buffalo fairies are coming to slice off her fingertips. Is it insensitive that I'm laughing? I just sound like buffalo fairies. What does that even mean? Like, I just feel like buffaloes as an animal and fairies are so fundamentally different. You know, fairies are light and they've got wings and buffaloes are like hairy and heavy. I don't know. Anyways. And she'd always ask me to sleep in my bed and one night I let her. We're not meant to, but oh well. And we only had single beds. Anyways, I was just drifting off to sleep and she was spooning me, LOL. Anyways, she started to play with my hair and tuck it behind my ear and she whispered in my ear and was all like, "The buffalo fairies like you." That's an honor. And I don't know why it didn't creep me out, but yeah, I just rolled over and whispered back to her and we had a little conversation and then she said, "Well, if the buffalo fairies like you, then you must be a good person, especially if they let you keep your fingertips." Oh my god, this is a horror movie. And then she started taking my clothes off and we had sex. It's a good thing you guys both had your fingertips so you could, you know. Yeah, it was a weird experience. We're both lesbians, so that's a good thing, but I still don't know what buffalo fairies are. I have to Google buffalo fairies now. I mean, like, maybe it is a thing. Buffalo fairies? No, not buffalo fries. Those are good though. My friend and I were having a sleepover once and we got bored after we finished eating pizza and Netflix was also boring us, so we watched porn out of curiosity. Yeah, it was very awkward, but at least I taught her how to delete her search history. That's awesome. That is so much better than escalating to each other, I feel like. Well, I don't know, maybe not. I don't want to shame these sexual experiences. We're all just out here in our human bodies trying to feel stuff, do stuff, experience it all. No shame to anyone who escalated that further than just watching porn. But I dig this. I like that. It just, you know, you search history, lesson learned, no awkwardness. This is good. It's different. It's different. Okay, so this is a sleepover story secret shit. You better make a video to the subject. So of course I had a sleepover with my best friend. Not my friend anymore. She's annoying. Anyway, it was the morning and like the bitch I am had to wake up before her. So like I didn't want to wake her up. So I got up, went to the bathroom, then I realized that I heard no noise, which is weird because her family is Mexican and be loud in the morning. I went to the kitchen and no one was there, so I was like, WTF. I went to her sister's room since her parents are like not in her life anymore. Mom died of cancer, RIP. Her dad has a different family. Yikes, rough life. Her sisters weren't home, so I looked through her shit and stole their money, and I got like $200. After the sleepover, I went shopping and bought myself like a hamster. What do you mean, like a hamster? Did you buy yourself a hamster or like a hamster? Is it a mouse? Is it a rat or is it a hamster? So hot. Take that, Kimberly. I stole your money and bought myself a hamster with your sister's money. By the way, I love your vids and I hope you can forgive me. Love ya and Stan Luna. You stole money from your friend whose mom died from cancer. Dad is off with a different family and just lives with her sisters? You think that was a good idea? You think that they are drowning in cash? That's a bastard like hamster. You know, it wasn't born out of it was born out of wedlock. I guess all hamsters are bastards, but it's a bastard because it was immorally purchased. I love all animals, and I'm sure your hamster is lovely, but I don't know about you. To start things off, I just like to say I know I'm not the only one that goes to friends' houses who they hate and does shit to their shit while they aren't looking. Like one time, this brat who lived down the street from me showed me her mom's Lush haul and Gucci haul. This girl was my best friend at the time and I knew I was less privileged than she was. She rubbed all her mom's shitty shit in my face just to make me feel bad and showed me the price tag on each one, which just made me more mad. So later that day I told her I needed to use the bathroom and I left to do my business. I went to the bathroom, which was a staircase down from her room, opened her mom's Lush bag, got the bath bombs, threw them in the toilet, shit on top of them and flushed them down. The sizzle of them dissolving was so satisfying, not gonna lie. I also poured 4 Chanel perfumes in it after, 2 packs of acrylics, like 12 sets per pack, 6 pairs of lashes, and a 24K face mask, like the ones you spread on in the bottles that are like $300 and last you months. And her mom's favorite bracelet from Cartier, which was dipped to perfection in 24 karat gold. Passed her mom's glam room and broke the heel off of 3 out of 6 pairs of her Gucci heels. Those shoes were ugly anyways, and I was doing her a favor. I kind of felt bad watching it all go down the drain, but 6 years later, I woke up at a sleepover / slumber party / whatever with this girl to her taking my shirt off of me, my pants, that underwear halfway down my leg, and her mouth all up in my business down there. I was too scared to show any sign that I was awake at the time, but still this me. So I'm 14 now. It's been a few years since that trauma, and honestly I have no regrets for the damage I did to things after what she did to me. Love your videos, by the way. Oh my God. The first thing that came to mind is like, why are you punishing her mom for having a shitty daughter? But I guess probably apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What do you value? You know, it's like lessons passed on. Took a turn. That was what we would call it as a literary device. It was a plot twist. I did not expect that. Wow. Okay, well thank you for sharing. I don't really know what to say. So at a sleepover with a ton of girls, we all decided to play spin the bottle, so we all kissed each other a bunch. Then we had to go in the closet and gave each other hickeys. There was one girl that was bi-curious at the time, so no one wanted to kiss her. She stayed in the living room the whole time and cried a bunch. Most of the girls made fun of her for being bi, especially this one girl that then later came out as bi. You know what this calls for. If you're homophobic, you're probably gay. You say that it's disgusting, but really you just want some pussy or some butt play. If you're homophobic, you're probably just gay. Also, the irony of you guys all making out with each other and giving each other hickeys and then outcasting the bisexual girl is, I mean, it's whopping irony. You're doing what you're shaming her for. You know, it's just like, what? So in high school, we had a teacher called Mr. Arlington, and he was a f***ing asshole. So one day we're in school and called for an emergency assembly, and we all found out Mr. Arlington had died in a car accident, and the whole school was so excited. Me and my friends threw a slumber party that night to celebrate. Best sleepover ever! Oh R.I.P. Mr. Arlington. Or maybe don't. R.I.S. Rest in stress, bitch. When I was like 8 years old, I went over to my friend's house for a sleepover. There were 4 other girls there, and I was the smallest in the group. I forget how, but we were playing some sort of game, and I ended up lying on the floor with my stomach touching the floor and my back facing the ceiling. That's usually how it goes. You know, if your stomach's on the floor, it'd be pretty weird if your back was facing anywhere else. One of my friends jumped on top of me, and I thought it was funny until the other 3 decided to jump on me too, dogpiling on top of me. They were crushing my stomach so hard into the floor that I couldn't breathe, and I tried to yell at them to get off, but I couldn't make a sound because I couldn't breathe. Next, I tried to hit them with my arms, but my arms were stuck under the dog pile, and as much as I tried, I couldn't get them out. Whilst I'm struggling to breathe, I could hear them all laughing on top of me and joking around with each other, and they hadn't noticed that I hadn't made a sound for about a minute. I mean, obviously you didn't die because you're typing this, but imagine accidentally killing a friend by doing this. So just like dogpiling. Dead. It had been well over 2 minutes, and I swear, just as I felt myself starting to black out, I broke one hand free and I flung around in circles like a maniac, hitting all my friends. One noticed, and they all got off. I took like 10 deep breaths and then just started crying so hard. I'm in high school now, and till this day, I still consider that my nearest death experience. Not only that, but the exact same girls are still my best friends today, and I am very scared of dog piles. At least you're still friends with the same girls, and you don't have to explain to any new friends to not dogpile you, because that's something that happens a lot to people, getting dogpiled. So that's good. So I don't really know here to start, and this really isn't that big of a deal, but I'm just like shocked and confused that this is my life. Okay, so basically this is like a year ago, and my brother and I are both in high school. There's this girl in our theater department that was at the sleepover and was my first kiss and first girl crush, but now I have recently found out that that is literally the girl my brother lost his virginity to. I want to cry, not because I still like her, but simply because not only did I kiss the same girl my brother but like the first girl I had a crush on was the one female my brother had to lose his virginity to. P.S. I'm a girl and she's bi. Oh, and I did kiss her before they but still. Y'all are Eskimo siblings. Real siblings and Eskimo siblings. That's awesome. I think you should be more excited. I think the 3 of you should hang out. Once at a sleepover, me and a girl snuck into the host's brother's bedroom and found a piece of rotting cheese on a metal stick under his bed. We asked him WTF it was, and he said, "I don't want to die a virgin." What the does that mean? What? What? Is the rotting cheese, is it supposed to replicate a... I gotta go.